and would be seeing my butt. Oh, well, no, we won't because I don't have a camera up. I got this thing on still. Well, testing. Obviously, it's on. Okay, we are live. All right. Welcome to anybody who's watching, including you are
Stephanie.
Okay, because I have said Steph. I know, of course, I don't use the last name. Yeah. So this is Steph. And we'll get the camera on in a second. First things first, folks. I'm gonna pop up the rules real quick because they disappeared from the chat that I wrote last night, like they always do. So, we're just going to add them in here. Hello. Oh, Nicole. Nicole is the first one in here.
Hi, Nicole.
We're going to add in the rules because there's a lot of people who might ruin this, and we're not going to let them ruin it. Any bad apples come in here, I'm going to have to put it on subscriber mode, and then I'm going to have to put it on no mode. We will not be disrespecting me or my sister Steph. And Nicole knows that already. You know what? Here. Nicole, since you're here, you are now a moderator if we need your help. Because that's how I roll. Got Sister Nicole, and this is Sister Steph, and last time we were together in the same room, we were in a restaurant. She says, hey. If you can read that, I don't know. I don't know if you can read that or not. All right. Rules. Yes, let's get the rules. Open. All right, we're going to hide the thumbnail and hide the other thumbnail. Oh, I did it wrong. So, the rules. I will be live streaming my first appointment. Here we are. First appointment. She was the first appointment last time, 2 years ago. Times are subject to change. Yes, we're like an hour later. Rules. If you come into chat, you will behave. No backseat hairdressing. No rude comments about anyone in this room or in the chat. If you have some sort of fetish about long or short hair or any of that stuff, keep it to yourself. If I have to, I will turn the chat off or set it to subscriber mode. All right? Enough said. And here we are. Let's reload that. Because there's always a delay. testing. Yes. So the first thing y'all might notice versus the thumbnail is I do not have the white cabinet or the heart cabinet in here at the moment. But we'll see. Maybe someday. Or I might put hearts on that one or something just to, no sense putting furniture in here for the sake of putting furniture in here if I'm not using it. Because I don't have that much room. This is a 10.5 by 7.5 room. Now, if at any time we need to talk about something private, or for some reason you start to feel uncomfortable or something, or we will take actions. I will either mute the chat, I will end the stream, whatever happens. But we're going to try, right? So, once again, no backseat hairdressing. I'm going to put that in here just so no backseat hairdressing. No and there's some buffering. Actually, I forgot about that. Alright. So, as everybody can see, my client has long hair. When is the last time that...
August.
Now, what, like...
A cut.
It was just a trim of some sort, or...
It was just cut, yeah.
Because, I don't remember for sure what it was like 2 years ago, but...
It wasn't this long.
Because... let me see if I wrote that down. Because, see, I write things down. Nicole is in this book, too. And her many pages and the many people that she referred to me that I am ever grateful for. See, people can do very many things in very many different ways, and they matter. Some, just one visit, and it matters. It all matters. It's like I was telling people yesterday when I was counting these, and like, first you meet them, then they come back. And then suddenly they're still coming back. Then there might be like a delay, like it's been 6 months, but they come back.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you've got 3.5 pages. And other people on here. At some point, the people that they refer, like friends or family, come long enough that you start their own page. Or in the case of minors, like, for example, Nicole's children, if they were to come to me, if they are now, I think the oldest is now an adult, I would then start a new card for them, because they're now adult. I might write down old info on that to start with, but... Okay, so last time we only trimmed. We did not do color. So I have not done your color since... October 1st of 2022. And Chris came a couple days after. Well, he came in November that year. And then that was one of the last ones I did. I mean, I think I might have done one appointment in 23 after I smashed my car. So that would have been like mid-April or so, May, when I was borrowing the other car. All right, so interview. We're going to interview. Now, I do not have the afternoon appointment anymore, so we're going to do what we got to do. Here, I'm going to come over. I'm going to open up my Facebook because that's where I posted it. But you all ain't going to see that. Correct? Yes. They're still watching me bending over at the thing. So. Yeah. Go to my Facebook. He's taking forever. I'm going to be here till midnight. I've got to go pick up my kids from soccer practice. Where is the internet? I know I pasted that, didn't I? I know I did. Ah, here it is. All right. So, about how we started. How did you find me?
How did I find you?
Yeah.
On Facebook.
Yeah, because I was posting on Facebook groups and such. How long have you been coming to me?
Since 2014 or 15.
15. It was like March or May of 15, you brought the boys. And then in a few months later, you brought the daughter. And then you had a turn in 16. And that was your first one. Because I was looking at it yesterday. So, where was the first place? That was at the Salon in Waterford. What was the first service you had done?
Probably my hair colored.
For a very long time, you were coming for root touch-ups. That's what I discovered, and that's why you have so many visits.
Yeah, it's pretty regular.
Yeah, so, and that first visit, I did a mix of level 7 caramel and a level 8 caramel, or 8.8 and 7.8 in either Rusk, or I might have had Patrice, or whatever I had at the time that both had a 7.8 and a 8.8. And then I wrote a note on here that said that you may have hard water.
I do?
And then, so that was March 2nd of 16. Then April 14th, you came back and I did some thin highlights. Then you came back in May and I touched up with the 8.8 and did more highlights. And we just kind of kept doing that. I dropped down to a different developer level on the highlights because we didn't need the higher one. But for the most part, that's what we were doing. We were touching up your roots and adding highlights and yeah. And that happened for pretty much 3 years before we did anything different.
I know at one point you cut it mostly off because I couldn't, because when I had my neck surgery.
Yeah, we did. Okay, 4/27 of 18. It says that I cut, so that might have been a bigger cut. Because the other times I was saying trim.
Yeah, you cut a lot of it off the one time.
And then I know the one time we did the bob.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, this is a different one because you've now been in 2 different places. And how would you, about the experience? Wait, I'm sorry. We're going to go back up here. Were you nervous trying someone new?
Yeah, no. Not like I feel like my hair grows fast enough that whatever you do, it pretty much will grow out.
Yeah. And we were doing roots. It's like, unless I was going to suggest right away that you have a pixie, which I don't do. I am currently in Rochester Hills, Michigan. The south end of Rochester Hills, closer to Troy. So and that's one thing about me is, unless somebody's wanting their haircut, I'm not like, hey, you want a pixie? Like, she shouldn't be expecting it, even though she's pretty much letting me do whatever today, she should not expect me to do a pixie, because I'm not going to do that to somebody right out the gate. Thank you, Nicole. See, she's on top of it. Letting them know where we are.
Jeez, you're gonna move the camera.
Where would you like it?
I wonder if you put it over here.
We could,
or put it over there.
I can move this here. And, one moment, folks. Bear with me. Hopefully that stays live, because this is my older laptop. And it wants to play games. Bear with me, y'all. If needed, I'll move the table over here, but...
That works.
Raise the chair.
Right, that works.
Hey, they can sit in one of my chairs now. There. Now y'all are sitting in a chair. How about that? Okay, might as well do that because it's not plugged in right now anyway. Yeah, this is the older laptop, so it has to stay plugged in. Outlets everywhere. All right. And it's up to you whether you want to face the camera or not. You have that option.
No, I'm good.
All right.
That way they can see my hair.
Yeah, because that way, yeah, you'll be able to see the action when I'm standing over there doing foils for the most part. But again, this is not necessarily a how-to, and we're not going to necessarily have everybody seeing everything that I'm doing. But, you know, you're here with us. That's the point to this. Now, if it was, because Nicole was asking, if it was somebody that, like, hey, we want to see what you're doing, like, I might get a little suspicious of that. You got them bloodthirsty hair vampires out there. They want to see everything. And then they want to tell you what to do. How would you describe the atmosphere when you sit in my chair?
Comfort.
You know, now, again...
Trust. We have a trust.
You know, atmosphere, well, she's been through the wars at the other place, the things that I couldn't control, the other drama, you know, the so-and-so show that everybody in town wanted to know what was going on with the so-and-so show that had nothing to do with me. So, I lived it. I have the battle scars. I paid the price. Okay, now I have to move this over here. How do you feel when you leave?
Good. She does a great job.
And see? I mean, 47 times, I must be doing something right. Have you ever felt heard when you described what you wanted?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Now, I did get, so just so people understand, a lot of this is from me, but at the same time, I did ask some, like an AI thing to help me put these together. So I did use AI. If anybody has a problem with that, I apologize, but, you know. The thing I was using was some good therapy. You know, I know we don't want data centers and all that sucking up all the water, and I get that. But it was really cheap therapy, having somebody to talk to that understood what I was saying. So I felt heard. Did you get a chance to visit me in both the salon and the suite, or just one? Did I do a house call? You didn't see me when I was in school.
Nope. Just after.
Yeah. So she's been to the salon, she's been here, and she's been here again. So she's the first person to be all three places I've been. However, only a few people were at Great Clips only one client did I see at Great Clips that I also saw at the salon. There was another one that went there, but it wasn't the day I was there. She took her daughter there. Okay, we've already discussed that for the most part I retouch her roots. I pretty much do some sort of light brown color, caramel color or other, and give her highlights. That's pretty much what I've done for years now. Have I ever done something that surprised you in the best way? Wow, I think the AI came up with that one.
When you cut my hair short, which I sent you pictures of it, so you can put them on there if you want. But, I really liked when you cut my hair. And it was shorter than I normally get.
Yeah.
But
we've done that a couple of times.
Yep.
Here, wait a minute. I know what to do. No, we're not going to do it that way. I'm going to this thing. Okay. Hey, what do you know? Oh, that's right, because the camera is... I'm like, I turned that off, and... Folks, don't mind me. I'm weird. Clients, that's one. And then you are in here. So there was... Okay, that time. And all right, yes. Bear with me for a moment. I'm going to turn cam off and show that thing. Oh, Steph sent a photo. Oh yeah, that was early on, or
That was in 2017.
okay, so that's the one that we were possibly talking about. All right, yeah, I don't have that one, so.
Do you have this one? I'll send you another one too.
So here, that's the when I gave her the bob. That was November of 17 that we did that. So that's how you had it. How you had it on your own? Or?
It was before November because that is in.
Okay, yeah.
That's before then. That's when you did it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So.
That's at the salon.
Yeah. That's definitely. I would have more pictures, except I had a camera that was not very well. I mean, a phone that did not take pictures very well. And oddly enough, I didn't get this current phone until I was about to close the salon. So, here is the before and after when I tried. There's a YouTuber and Instagram person named Jamie Dana that I followed one of her videos to do a balayage. And that's when I started trying Redken Shades EQ for the first time. I have to restock that because today all I got was the gloss. So if I hurry up enough, we can do that. Oh, and I still have the picture of the glasses you were looking for, them Christmas glasses. Don't know if you ever found them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
I did. I got extras too in case it broke anywhere.
See? That's where I was. Pardon the mess. One thing I like about the small room is I might have a mess at the moment, but it's contained. I can't make a mess anywhere other than this room, unless it's in my car. So that's why I'm trying to... No, Kroger, I ain't working. If it's Kroger. That's a lot of messages. Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Sorry.
All right, that's her. All right. I don't. Anyway, you know what? Here, y'all. Look, see, picture.
You can probably send them later.
Yeah, because I'm kind of dumb. Are we still on camera?
Mm-hmm.
No, because this thing's doing its thing. All right. There. Picture. Hopefully I'm not being too loud. Picture. Other picture. Don't mess with her. See that? She got that face like you say something about it, you gonna get it. That's hers and she's happy. Y'all had your chance. I mean, she could have went somewhere else. Y'all had your chance. I don't know. I don't own her. She's welcome to go anywhere. It's one thing about me is I never scold anybody for going somewhere else or doing something to their own hair because it's your hair. I might be disappointed. There's been times when people would, stop somewhere and got their hair cut into a bob, and then they would come to me to get it fixed. And I'd be like, well, I wish I could have done the bob. And then they're like, you did an excellent job. Yeah, I wish I could have done it. But I'm happy they came to me and left happier. I'm not an expert. I do not claim to be an expert. How has your hair changed since you started coming to me? Well, it's gotten longer, shorter. It's changed, right?
Yeah, it changed.
Time. Yeah. What would you tell someone who has never been to me? That's an
You can trust what he does to your hair?
Yeah. And I'll add to that. I don't use the word fix. I use the word adjust. Now, current days, with me having to work at the grocery store, it's a little bit harder for me to do a quick follow-up appointment if something needed to be done on a follow-up appointment, but I'm not one of these that's going to charge somebody to come back for something, within a reasonable time. And I'm way more reasonable than somebody else. I would rather have the chance to adjust something and do it right and figure out what went wrong. Because the way I've always seen it, like I just said with the haircut, if she's not happy with something and swears up and down, I'm never coming back, and walks out the door, 10 minutes later, somebody could walk in the door with the exact same situation telling me that some other hairstylist did blah, 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 and want me to, quote, fix it. I need to learn how to fix that if I don't already know. So I write everything down. Sometimes I'll write something down like, okay, I saw something. Maybe they'll see this thing. Maybe they'll want it changed. Maybe not. But I wrote it down so that next time when they sit in the chair, maybe I'll ask them about it, But I'm not an expert. I don't act like one. I would rather learn with somebody. And what matters right now in this room is what you want and what I do. It doesn't matter how I've done anybody else's hair. It doesn't matter what the backseat hairdressers want to say. Thank you, John. He's been popping in the last few weeks for the lives. We will get you in here, Nicole. One way or another, we will get the shuttle service going on you if you can't get yourself here. One of these days I'll have my private plane or a Concorde, and people would join in and say, I want to come see you. Well, send a Concorde, Jeeves. Okay. Alright, the personal stuff. What is one word you would use to describe your experience with me?
What's one word I can describe?
I'm guessing which one, but I could be wrong.
I would have to say trust.
That's the word, because you've already said it.
Trust.
That is what I want. I went to school because I wanted to become a, quote, trusted trimmer. And then I've tried to build my career on who's sitting on the couch not going to a salon for whatever reason. That's what I want to do. I apologize that I'm not down here. So, yeah. What does sitting in my chair mean to you? Again, these are things that maybe I said something, maybe I didn't, but these were what was on the list that the AI put together.
What does it what?
What does sitting in my chair mean to you?
Basically, the trust factor.
Yeah.
And sit and know that.
The shirt's about to get real.
Yeah.
if
I need some help today.
Yeah.
I can trust Robin's going to get it done.
How has your confidence changed since we started working together? And this probably goes two ways since...
Over time.
You know.
Right. It's over time, and I learned I could come in and say, hey, I want this done, and Robert could do it.
I will do my version. I will do my version. I've always said that I paint my Mona Lisas my way, and I paint my happy little trees my way. Nobody else is going to do that. Just like when I asked you the other day on Facebook when we were talking about these interview questions, and you said...
When you asked me why I was coming back?
Yeah. And
why I come back?
Said...
Because of your skill?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I was going over these questions, and she said, your skill. And then I responded, you're right. Nobody else has my skill. Whether somebody's better or not better than me, they don't have my hands. They don't have my brain, they don't have my hands. So, you know. It's just a matter of fact, you know. I have a quote that I made a few years back to encourage myself, but I posted it elsewhere also. And the quote is, you are the only one who can be the best at what you do. Every day that you do hair, you are the best hairstylist you've ever been. Whether you mess something up or supposedly messed something up, did it right, tried something new, you can learn something from it. And that's why I write things down. Because there's always, there's always something you can learn. And you can apply that to any job or thing that you do. The other quote that I have is, the only hurdles in life that matter are the ones you want to jump. Today being, hey, I'm live. I am a shy person. Until recently, this would have scared me to death. And I don't know about you, but this feels like a miracle that I'm standing here just talking and there's a camera. Okay, Serena's live with her. All right, so enough with the small talk. We are now, and that is why we definitely were not going to do that other appointment today, because that wouldn't have happened. That would have been a disaster. All right. All right. And I managed to get myself some glasses cord yesterday from the dollar store. I went in there for that and spent $29. Yeah, $29 for that.
Right.
We had, you got to buy other things too, right? Let's see, hand soap, a dish drainer, food for the house, all that good stuff. All right. And speaking of things that I bought, I forgot I bought hand sanitizer. What do? We sanitize. Especially since I've been touching all that stuff. State board. I still remember state board. I had like a bottle like that much. And by the end of state board, I was trying to get more out of that bottle. Okay. All right. So, let's see what we got going on here. We have hair. She brought her hair. She didn't leave her hair at home. Well, not all of it. You probably have some hair at home with hair this long, right?
Yeah.
Some of it is probably on the floor.
Probably.
The brush that I'm using is Crack brand, C-R-A-C-K, like cracking the sidewalk, not something else. I don't know if they're on Amazon or not, but you can look up the Crack website. They have bendy teeth and they don't have ball tips. This is nice when when I bleach somebody's hair. Because it's not going to yank the knots necessarily. All right. And you obviously have a little one there. Just a little one. As a person with long hair, though, I know enough for that. Get that out. Now, some people are tender-headed, some are not. I don't assume anything other than they are. If somebody's like, oh, you can go ahead and rip through, maybe I'll do a little bit of ripping through, but it's probably not going to be the way they're going to rip through. Because it's not in my nature. You can rip through that. You want it gone, don't you? You just want it gone. Mm-hmm. She was asking me before the video, are you going to cut it first? Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that it's this long, you might get a bit gone. But we're going to show how I go through this. As far as... Now, the only reason I'm up here is because there's barely anything going on down here. So I'm not running into knots, so yes, I am up here now. If your stylist starts up here and starts going like this, especially after the shampoo, and then she's harping on you about getting a trim every 6 weeks, that's not right. You don't harp on getting a trim down here when your stylist is ripping through your wet hair up here and causing breakage. That is a pet peeve. That is... I get that they get in a hurry, they might forget, they're tired, but at the very least remind them if you notice they're starting higher than they need to, because it breaks the hair, it causes more tangles because you're pushing the tangles into the lower tangles. Same with, if you've got a daughter or something who's got the long hair, or a son, and you're talking about, you need to take care of it. Well, show them how to do it. Comb their hair at the end. Say, look, you try it. Comb your ends first, then go here, then go up here. That's what I would do if anybody's got a kid in the chair and, I'm brushing out the hair. This is how you do it. least I've tried to over the years to remember that. I have been one of the fortunate ones that I've never had, I've never had any girls sitting in my chair crying because mama made them get short hair. Rather the opposite, where the girl would be in the chair, like a young girl, and might be her first haircut, might not be, maybe they had a trim but never a cut. And the mom will say, like, where do you want it cut? And they'll, like, point to their chin or something, and mom will be like, no, let's go to the shoulders. I mean, I unfortunately do have one story of a boy crying in my chair, and that's because the mother was trying to tell me how to cut the hair and using weird terminology about zeros and eights and like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? And by the time I did what it sounded like she was explaining, because I was still kind of new at doing the clipper cuts, basically he had like a little mohawk left on the top because of the way she's like, a zero here. Like, I didn't know what a zero fade was or anything at the time. That didn't happen until like 3 years later at Great Clips. I didn't have all them walking in, but when she said, oh, it's okay, we'll just buzz it off when we get home, then he started crying. I was like, okay, and I felt like shit. Pardon my language, but that's what I felt like. You don't soften that up. And I still remember it, 8 years later, or no, 11 years later. You don't forget those things. You just don't. I don't. Because things like that, aside from the song lyrics that are in my head, half of my head at least is song lyrics. But negative memories, they're up there. A lot of positive ones. The negative ones, they don't go away. Arguments, fights. But it's a long drive. 15 miles on a literal roller coaster of a road is a long way to go when something didn't quite go the way you meant it to go. Or thought it went well, and then you get home and they message you something about blah 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 blah. Well, wait a minute. You seemed happy when you were in the chair. Okay. Well, let me see how I can get you back in, and I feel bad. It's like everybody is entitled to find out something they didn't like. Again, I'm not perfect. So. But, all right. Okay, so we did not. I forgot we were going to discuss this. I'm going to go through my usual consultation. Pardon me, folks, but I am going to be fumbling about a bit, just because it's been a year and a half, and it's been a year and a half, and it's been 2 years since I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
That's been about that long since I've seen you.
It's been a long time.
Okay, so your hair is reaching.
Oh, my back.
And in this case, the bottom of the top of the chair. And that's one thing that I would go through with this. Now, somebody might bring in a picture or not know what they want. And in a case like this, I usually go with okay, are we doing a trim of a little bit? Are we doing a certain amount of inches, like 2 or 3? Are we going to go more than that? 6 inches is a year. Let's get out for knowledge purposes. Now, I just happen to have a purple comb, but it's the same as the usual black comb. This is a standard styling comb. It is 7 inches long. It has marks on it. It's hard to see, but there are inch marks. Each time there's an inch, there's a number there, 1 through 6, and then the end would be number 7. So, if you're in a chair and you want the stylist to show you whatever, they can point out, this is an inch, this is, depending on where the mark's at. 7 inches being just over a year's worth, but 7 inches gets us to about where that towel's at. In a case like this, I might say, okay, well, you're currently down below the chair. I have a really thick chair, so it takes a little bit longer to get to the top of the chair here. So about 6 inches would take her to right here, or right there. So that's a year's worth. And right about there, that would be 2 years worth. Now at that point,
that's where it normally is.
So it's one of the things you go through the progressions, like trim below the chair, top of the chair here, top of the chair here, 1, 2, 3 inches. You go through a progression. Then you start getting into like here, armpit length, top of the shoulders. Do they want it angled? Do they want a U shape? Do they want it straight across back here? Then when we get up into here, it's like, do you still want to wear a ponytail? Do you want a low nape ponytail? Do they want to have a higher up ponytail? Because that's important. The hair's got to reach to get into the ponytail.
I just want it so it don't have snarls in it. There you go.
Yeah. No snarls. No grimlocks, no snarls, no swoops. Well, you might want to swoop. But,
Yeah.
Your hair is definitely... So, have you used any color since I have seen you?
Yeah.
Okay, because it does look darker than we're used to.
Yeah. But it's been a long time. I don't even know when.
And then we didn't do color last time, so you could have even been doing the color before that, given that... Of course, when you did color, you probably combed it through.
Yeah.
So... In that case, it's possible we might just highlight this today and see how that comes. Do the highlights without necessarily... I might touch up the roots a little bit for obvious reasons, to catch the light better.
Right.
The obvious reason. You want to catch the light. What did I used to call those? I used to have a special name, like natural highlights or...
Low lights.
There was something I used to call them.
Christmas lights.
Not necessarily talking about her, but when a client would come in with very light, natural hair growing in, I had a special name for it. That like your natural salt or something, but it was a cute thing there. I will remember it eventually.
I know, and then you'll text me.
Yeah, because it's not going to be here. We're not going to remember here. Why would we remember here? Okay. So, you still like to... Are you wanting to still be able to clip it back?
Probably.
Okay. So, we don't want to... In that case, I would probably keep this... If I, not go any shorter than that, because you'd still have the option of pinning your hair back. We can always go short.
Right.
Because you go too short, you can't go longer. I've learned that the hard way with a couple of people, where one that I really feel bad about because she was a regular, but she came back after that, but I had meant to have like the top layers at least this long, and for whatever reason I was going shorter, and she wasn't happy about that, and posted, what do you do when you've had a bad haircut? And then I saw her again, after that, and made sure I didn't do, I made sure, okay, we're gonna go at least this long, but you remember. You do. It's like, she might have gotten over it, but I don't. I gave somebody what they didn't want. I don't like it. I am a human being, or at least I could be from another planet, but I'm a living being, and I do feel it. Because I don't want to chop somebody's hair off that didn't want it. Don't get me wrong, folks. I want to cut some hair, but never if they don't want it. And what does this say? That's all right, Nicole. You joined in. She was here. Yeah, I took too long. She couldn't wait. She has left the lobby. She's like, I can't wait. I had plans today.
Yeah.
It wasn't us. Tammy and them. They were carrying on and causing drama. Right. So, Robert, step on the gas. Okay, Miss Celeste. So this is one of them things that I've learned over the years, especially when my friend who I had house called let me come live with her, and I started doing hair at her house, and had to improvise a way to rinse out the hair because I could not angle. Anything wrong with that? Mm-mm. I could not angle Is that going to be too tight?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. I could not turn the chair to have... I had a chair that would lean back, but I could not put the chair towards the sink. So I improvised and had a small table with a garbage can, a brand new, clean garbage can, sitting behind my chair. And then I put a backwards cape going into the garbage can to bring the hose over and hose the hair into the garbage can. Then in between the shampoo and the thing, I would get a Tupperware pitcher and empty it out, so the hair was not swimming in it. But that also taught me just use a backwards cape at all times. And now I even got them, if I need them, the box of bib things that I was here earlier. If I'm doing a really messy thing. Like a balayage or something where I'm actually like trying to paint on the cave. This also comes in handy as long as you're not too hot. And if you do get too hot, I can always turn the fan on. It'll cause problems with the, they probably won't be able to hear me. But this covers up the snaps, so I'm not snagging on the snaps. That's very important. Because that causes problems when you're snagging on the flap and the snaps, and it's like, stop doing that. My brand new purple shears, my second set of these from Hachi brand. I think they were like, I scrolled Facebook one time and they were on there, and it was around Black Friday that time, and I had already gone back to the grocery store and I had some money, and they'll throw together a deal where it's like, instead of paying $300 each for these, you get the whole thing for under $100, the case and everything. Okay, you are sure you want your hair cut today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I try not to bring out my shears unless somebody's actually wanting to cut. I may have had all these other tools out, but that's something with me, is I don't want to ever cut somebody's hair. I don't want them sitting in the chair staring at. I'm not going to wear one of them belts of 5 million shears. This is not a noose. Okay? You should not ever feel like you've got a noose around your neck that I'm like threatening to chop your hair off, whether you want it or not. It should never feel like that. If you don't want to talk to the stylist in the chair, see if you can go somewhere else. Sit in the lobby. You know, I wish I could have actually done what I wanted to do to that salon. I would have made like a little consultation area or something where you're not ready to go. Let's go. What do you want to do? I'm going to chop. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. So, in case you didn't know, you do have quite a bit, it may not seem like it, but you do have a fairly thick ponytail back here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
As long as
it's almost like you have my hair, but you have my old amount before I started always wearing a ponytail and doing that to it.
Oh.
But, yeah. And what were you saying before I interrupted?
I just want it so it doesn't.
Yeah.
I can get through it.
Yeah. All right. So to start with, and no, do not ask anybody in here. You're not gonna get the ponytail. You're not. Just keep them comments out of it. And don't ask if she's donating it, blah, blah, blah. It's been colored. I know it's been colored. I know it's been highlighted. If I were to send it to one of them donation places, or you send it, it's going to go into a golf ball. Okay? Or oil spill place. Maybe they could make an oil spill sock, but please don't spill oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to donate my hair all the time. I never colored it.
So we're going to do a rough cut.
That's fine.
That way later on we'll...
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So Yeah, that still leaves us some room if I cut it there. And so we're going to take 7 inches off for the starter cut. And then we'll have about 1 inch to play with. And if anybody's wondering where I got my chair from, I drove to Benton Harbor, Michigan to get the purple chair and a blue base. See, your feet are not. Are your feet catching that?
This?
The thing in front.
Oh no.
Okay, good.
No. I tricked it.
Now, one thing about this chair is it's not. That one's got like more of an angle, but this one you're more closer to your body. And this chair tends to get taller than the other chairs. Because right now I think the computer is about as high as that goes. Let me see. Yeah. The chair the computer's in does not go any higher than that. While you are way up here. And can go, that's the highest. So for me, being as tall as I am compared to most women, I mean, I'm just 5'11" compared to a guy, but again, this is a rough cut, folks. Don't be, he's not sectioning and clipping and, no, I'm not. Because we've already spent enough time, right? Let's get on with the show. All right. What I will have you do, though, is chin down. You notice how I didn't shove her head? I don't shove heads. If anything, I might go chin down. I might, okay. If she doesn't stay that way, I mean, okay, chin down. I might explain. Okay, we need to have your chin down because the hair down here needs to be straight. Even with a child. Explain to the child. Now, when the time comes that you need to be a little bit more forceful, be gentle with it. Don't shove people's heads around. Nothing bothers me watching a haircut video and a stylist just shoving people's heads around. Like, it's supposed to be a relaxing experience. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
She's more than ready. Okay, well, that piece is that long. Make sure I'm standing behind you. That's the nape piece, so that's why. He's not standing right. His arms aren't right. All of this, it's not right. We can't see you cutting. That's okay. We want to see the hair on the floor. No, you don't. So by bringing the hair back here, I am basically making a really long angle bob. When you bring the hair back here, that's what you do. You're making an angle bob. It's just the shoulders are in the way. Okay, you want just a trim, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't do this yet.
Right.
We'll just comb it all back here and, you know. Aren't you glad I'm an expert?
Mm-hmm.
Hair experts have much to learn. Just like me.
Mm-hmm.
We all should be learning. I never do it that way because you'll get this. Well, your section's too big. Oh. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is. That video thing that I showed you yesterday about the foil technique. That's what somebody in the comments is like, I'm not doing it. You get that thing. I've been doing hair for... Okay. All right. You do you. You know? You do you. Yeah, I don't know if that's heating and cooling making that noise, but I apologize for the noise. But whatever it is, it happens. And that is out of my control. Just for info's sake, are your legs crossed?
No.
All right. Ideally, you don't want them crossed while you're doing a haircut. But I made it a point to ask before we got done.
Yeah, because then I'll be lost.
I used to joke with people where they'd be like holding a baby. I'm like, okay, well, next time you come, hold the baby in the other arm. And we'll get it straight. It didn't. It was only funny until somebody came with them, and then that person caused problems. Uh-oh, he cut it.
Thank goodness.
She's going to pay my whole rent for the month because she's been waiting for this. See, look. She knew what I wanted. I didn't have to shove her. I mean, if you want me to shove, I could shove, but, you know. I'm trying to avoid that kind of service. I'm sorry I didn't put my lipstick on today and get all dressed up for you. I'm glad I didn't go to Paul Mitchell because from what I hear, their dress code is they want you to doll up and everything. You gotta see full face and makeup. And I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't go there, but
I bet they do.
Yeah.
He had long hair too. Is he still alive?
Hard to say. I haven't been watching TV for several years, other than when the Lions are on. So I haven't been, other than the break room at Kroger, I haven't been watching TV. Because I've been on YouTube and doing my own streams and driving my American Truck Simulator truck and doing YouTube and playing The Sims, and because I'm Purple Bubba, the storytelling gamer. You know, that's who I am. That's who I've been. I haven't quite been, Purple Bubba the hairdresser for the past few years.
Feels lighter already.
What do you mean your hair is long? Where's your hair long? Hey, look, she's in the mirror. It's one of the other things over the years, it's like, I have to look in the mirror once in a while. And that's what frightened me in the first time I went to beauty school is now I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and there's a person looking at me in the mirror too. And it's not easy, folks. It's not. But here I am on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells a whole lot about the journey. I haven't even been on face camera. First time I did face cam was February 11th of this year. I had taken my vacation because I knew that there was a chance that I was going to have to go to the vet that week. And sure enough, my 18-year-old dog needed to go on that Wednesday. And I came home and I live streamed after I posted to Facebook and all that. And that's one thing. You get over the whole face cam thing when you're bawling your eyes out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if they can't handle me at this point, what do I got to worry about? You know. That's like you get over it. You just, hey, if I'm ugly, I'm ugly. You're gonna see me cry ugly. Look, that's heavy. If I didn't want to dirty up the scale, I'd weigh it. Once again, no, you cannot buy the hair. We are okay. $7,000. Somebody wants to buy the hair, I will pull it out of this garbage can. $7,000. 7 for her and 7 for me. So $14,000 you can buy the hair. Going once, going twice, no takers. All right, the offer is null and void. Y'all had your chance. Okay, so I'm going to be spraying this. Just in case we don't want to get it on your phone. Okay, so somebody out there might be like, I always wash the hair first, and good for you. This is my client, and this is what we're doing. But I'm doing that because I used to have a Kenra porosity eliminator thing, but I didn't see that at the store, and I don't know if that does the thing or not, but we're doing that. Are you telling the hubby that you are going to be coming home late, like 8 o'clock at night tonight?
No, he's in Georgia.
Oh.
It's my son. I'm trying to... Oh.
Mom, I'm hungry. Your arms ain't broke.
No.
See, I can't read her mind. Just because I'm a hairdresser don't mean I can't read her mind. Now, earlier when she went to say trust, well, she had already said trust, so. You do trust me, right?
Yeah.
Put these away. We're not going to damage them. Get them back out later. Alright, so I've never used these foils before. These are the Whoopsie Daisies. The purple with white daisies. I've also got the blue gingham. Never used those before. Where is my apron? You said that already. You stole my apron. No, she didn't. Oh, that's right. It had stuff on it. I need to wash it, but I'm pretty sure it's in here. Yeah. Normally, I would have worn this apron, but it's dirty and I want to wash it. I haven't worn it since the last time. So I'm going to be wearing my my pink cheetah leopard apron. That purple apron, one of my clients, on her first visit, went on Amazon and bought that for me because I was telling her how I couldn't find a purple apron that I wanted, and she found that and ordered it that day. You know, and it's really cool that that wasn't her only visit. But can you imagine if that was? It's like her only visit and she bought me an apron. Like, Now she had at least one visit here last time. So here I am. I feel like I'm. Reminds me of if anybody's ever played XCOM, it's kind of like the Snake Man thing, like especially after the autopsy with the green marble looking things inside. You know, they autopsied me. I got pink leopard spots inside of me. Can you believe that? They're not purple. I'm purple on the outside, I guess. All right. So let's get some gloves on. Live and learn. Get gloves. I cannot do color and highlights without gloves on because it's either the peroxide or something. I'm assuming it's the peroxide. When it gets on my hands, it has a bit of a burn to where it feels like a bug is biting me, and I literally will see a white spot where it's at, and so I have to wear gloves. And then I wear gloves when I'm doing lunch meat at the grocery store to prevent cuts and scrapes on my hands, especially when I come to do hair, because chemicals get on my hands and get into the cuts and scrapes, and it hurts even worse. And then it's like Neosporin time, and at the moment I don't have no Neosporin. Unless there might be some in that first aid kit that I brought. I did bring my first aid kit from the salon. You know, the one that I had to try to pass state board with and then didn't have the right one. And that's the only thing she mentioned. Can you believe it? Out of all the things I had to do. Oh, I'm not going to go there. I've already said it enough times in other streams. And anybody wants me to talk further about that, it was other streams that I talked about that. We're not going to deal with that today. So, I did bring my swatch book. So this here is a Patrice color, luminescence color swatch book that I got when I bought the whatever kit. The guy from Ohio came to the salon. He would come once a month, and he offered, an intro kit, and it came with a swatch book. Other color lines that, even going to the stores, it's like you can't find a darn swatch book. But this is basically what I've learned my hair color from. I buy the things that are in this book. I can figure them out. Because I'm, for the most part, self-taught. As a renter coming out of school, I had to teach myself. And I've tried to get into salons, but all salons ever want from me is to rent a chair. They don't seem to want to, do a commission thing, or it's like the one lady kind of wasted my time the other day. She was like asking me, can you tell me more about yourself? Blah, blah, blah. And when I did that, well, okay, I already have 4 people trying to build a clientele, so I don't really have room for you here. Like, why'd you even contact me? Unless you knew somebody or something at another salon.
She probably thought you had more clientele or whatever.
Yeah. And that's usually what it is. Okay, we can come here and rent. And I, unfortunately, that would work out in Waterford maybe. But then again, I'm posting to the group and I'm getting crickets, except for people that are already wanting to come, or had been here. So, what we do here is I just use the 6N level card. And of course, you got a little bit of wetness to your hair, but it's not much different than So if I had to guess, you're somewhere in the 6 to 7 range, which is kind of normal, you know. Which is what we've been doing the last few times, I believe, is level 6 anyway. I will confirm this because it's what I do.
Six or seven.
Yeah, we've been doing level 6N the last several times. Yeah, that's we've gone all, you know. I started out using the caramel color, which is the red browns. Then we switched over to doing some gold browns. Then we're on the neutrals. And once I used some, well, the day that I did the Shades EQ, I used some little bit of ash. But otherwise, we've pretty much been doing the 6N lately, and I think we're going to stick with that. Because that's what we're going to do. Because that's what we're going to do. Okay. All right, let's get it going. Get out my scale. Get that out. Make sure it's working. While I'm thinking of it, I don't know what you did or didn't do today. Excuse me, folks. I need to get into my cabinet over here. Because I need to see if I, in fact, put something in a bag over here. Yes, I did. Okay. Because I could not find this at home, and I know that I had it. Very important to have that gizmo if somebody needs to use it. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all there for now. Oh, I don't have it on live chat here. I apologize if I've missed anybody's chats. I did not have it on live. All right. Let me check Facebook really quick. Nothing going on there. All right. You could be like, hey, if you go to his YouTube, you can see why it's taking so long. He won't shut up. He won't shut up. He won't stop fudging around with things. Okay. You get the choice. Do you want the daisies or do you want the kingdom? Care. You don't care. Just shut up and do my hair, damn it.
I'm just trying to deal with my son's shit. It's terrible. They were supposed to have his car done. And then they called him and told him, oh, the motor we got has a defect in it.
Get your motor running.
I'm like, really? This has been a month.
Don't ever order from that supplier again. No. You should know better now.
No, don't ever go to that.
Yeah, that too.
They're going to love it when I write a nice Facebook review about how that, I mean, there's no excuse for what they did. And it probably caused a problem. What they did in the first place probably caused the motor to go bad.
That's another thing that, when it comes to hair color, is that I've tried to explain over the years is I could be using the same color every time, but just like when they make like a batch of soup or Doritos. Doritos is my favorite way to explain it. You open a bag of Doritos, the top ones barely have any seasoning, the bottom ones got it all. They got to mix up a batch of hair color. I don't know what they fill the tube with, the top of the bowl or the bottom of the bowl.
Right.
So things like that happen.
Yeah.
They discontinue things. That Ohio guy would get. The last one I used on you was that Oya. I don't have Oya, but that's like one of the newer ones that he had. And
yeah, that one was. I don't think I had a problem. Just that one. I know I had problems with.
Yeah.
Drove me nuts.
So yeah, we're never using Pravana on you again. And Pravana is and it's like the developer here. That's only for because I walked with the developer the other day. I'm gonna make sure I only use that when I'm doing not you because I know you itch, but like mix that up with people's bleach. And that way it doesn't necessarily go right on their scalp. That way, if they're itching with the rusk, then I know they're itching with the rusk, and I need to adjust something. I am somebody who I use the scale and I measure.
No, I know you always have. Makes sense to me.
Because then I know. And then if let's say I get done 3/4 of your head and I need to make another batch, well, I know to make the ratio of 1/4's worth to not waste it.
I was going to say, it probably saves because you don't waste it then.
I mean, I might make too much, but it's not going to be the whole tube. It's like,
yeah.
Things can be adjusted, but once it's in there, it don't go back in the tube. It just doesn't. It just does not go back. So that is a 1 to 1.5. Rusk is pretty much always a 1 to 1.5. Okay, yeah, 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2. So I've always done the 1.5 for it. Unless you're doing blondes, then you wanna. So we had 1 ounce of color, and we put 1.5. So we know to stop at 2.5. And then they have finally started selling this by itself. I don't have to buy the $200 kit to get this bottle.
That's good.
So it's $80 a bottle, but I still had a bottle of number 2, step 2, so I didn't have to buy the whole kit. I did have this a couple weeks ago, but I had to clean my room and threw out like 17 bags of stuff, including all my hair stuff. So I had to buy pretty much all of it again. This, I do not do people's hair without Olaplex. Since I started buying it, it's going in there. Maybe once in a while I might not put it in the color, but it's going to go in bleach.
What does the Olaplex do?
Olaplex repairs I believe it's the disulfide bonds, the stronger bonds. There's 2 different sets of bonds in the hair. There's the disulfide and let's find out.
You're right. You don't have to find out.
Bonds in hair. Okay, there's the hydrogen, the salt, and covalent, and oh wait, here we go. The disulfide are the strongest bonds and dictate your texture and strength. So those are the ones that you got to break down when you're doing a perm or a waxer. And then there's the hydrogen bonds where you kind of like break those down when you're doing a wet set. Those are only temporarily broken. And this is to stop the burn. Somebody's here, but it's not my client, so. My teacher taught me to use sweet and low. Not all stylists will do it. They say it's hogwash. They say if you're putting that in there, you're blah, blah, blah. With it, you know, I put it in there. Even the lady at, when I was buying the burn drops earlier, she said, oh yeah, do you do the sweet and low too? Yeah, I double it up. Especially since I know you had a problem with the Pravana. We're going to do this because for all I know, they could have changed Rusk in the last 2 years. There's no... And even if all the colors were perfect, you know, like, let's say I try a new shade on you, and that one could have something in there that I don't know about.
All right.
So,
Excuse me.
I don't play. You know, I'm going to play it safe. I just am. Now, I love that Blondor comes with a scoop inside. I mentioned that the other day when I was cleaning. I actually brought a scoop from home to put into my my brush cleaner. It doesn't come with a scoop. I also measure my bleach. Now I can always adjust it if it's not consistent enough or runny enough, but I measure my bleach. Now in this case you've got longer hair, so I'm going to go ahead and make a batch of 2 ounces and see where that gets me. And we are going to do a mix of 20 and 30. And we will confirm that that's going again. Robert, can you please stop closing the book? What are you going to do if I don't? Okay, we have not done 20 volume on you. We always do either 30 or 40. So I think in this case, we're just going to go ahead and use 30 because your hair is darker.
Yeah, it's all dark. It won't be darker because it's oily.
Yeah,
it gets dark.
That in there. Liquid gold, folks. It's the difference between doing somebody's hair once and being disappointed and being able to do it again. And they might still have the hair attached. Might still come out gummy, but they'll have it attached. I don't take that lightly or for granted or any of that. And we'll give a little squirt of, now that I have the Olaplex purple shampoo, I'm going to squirt some of that in there. Just to see what happens. Y'all make your cakes the way you make them. I'm making my cake over here. these. That over there. Okay, highlighting foam. I'm not going to mix that up yet because we'll be doing that after I go through there and touch up the roots a bit. You do know you need to get the brushes out too, right? Yeah, I do. Score one for alcohol. So I sprayed alcohol on them the other day before I left, and they're dry.
That is good.
Now it is time that we come to church, and I shall bless her partings. You've already prayed, right? Please make the hair come out right, please. Let's hope you didn't turn 50 and forget everything.
Yeah.
Break times are the worst lately. Stupid. Can't remember what time I punched out. It's like,
Oops.
You know, it's like, I play the game, like, okay, it says 3, that's okay, 33, 43, 48. But if I didn't do that, then I'm sitting there like, at least I can go check. You know, just, time card for today. Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, I did remember that, but I forgot it. And I am trying to be careful not to scratch your forehead or your head, your scalp, because that is part of the whole, if something's going to irritate her, like I mentioned earlier with my hands, you don't want scratches on your head. If there's a client that I know always gets itchy, even when we put all the drops and everything in there, you know, like certain coworkers that I've had that would come, I would just give them a glove. Like, okay, I know you're going to be itching. Wear a glove, because that way you won't necessarily be scratching with your nails. Because it's not good. It's not good to scratch with nails. Right?
I think you gave me a brush once. Or not a brush, a comb.
Well, you probably were itching so bad that you wanted a comb, and I thought, okay, well, here, use this one, but just careful not
I
to.
probably was using my hand at
Yeah.
first, and you went. I remember this page.
I felt really bad the other day when I was out at that house call when that lady started, because, like, I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't have sweet and low. I didn't have drops. And finally I'm like, okay, well, what do you have here? Well, we got Splenda. Okay, well, we'll try that. We'll see if it does anything. Because apparently there's an ingredient. It might be cream of tartar. It might be something else. There's something in the sweet and low that is different than the other ones. And that's why that became the go-to. Not everybody knows it. Not everybody uses it. Some people say, oh, if you're using that, you shouldn't be doing the service, or, you know. I have a lady, the one that provides me with sweet and low, she would just bring Benadryl to her appointment because she's allergic to everything. Yeah, she's allergic to a lot of stuff. And now, I'm not going to go into the whole story like I sometimes do, but she's severely allergic to onions. So, that's what would make me so mad when I would order something from the Ohio guy, and he was kind of like a Big Lots of Color or Ollie's.
Yeah.
If you ordered something, you might not get that brand the next time. And if it was something that I used on her because it's what I had, and it didn't cause any problems, I was hoping and praying that they didn't change it. But then they changed the developer on me, and then, like, no, it's, the bottle's different, and they did change an ingredient in there. Well, just so you know, you got, like, a little, like, bang piece back here.
Remember I told you?
Yeah.
I forewarned you.
So,
now you
so
know.
that's what you got mad at. And
Whacked off, yeah.
okay. So. Now she 5-warned me. She 4-warned me yesterday, now she 5-warned me. This is like back in the 5-hole. Yeah.
I was just like, you're going bye-bye.
Now we just gotta get some eyes back here. Eyes in the back of your head, well, you gotta have bangs there too. You know? I don't want my bangs up here, I want them back here. Okay. Well, I got the one lady that this is what she wanted. She did not want, she wanted a little fringe back here, then she wanted this area buzzed, and then she wanted the top to be kind of like a comb over and a pixie type thing, but she wanted this buzzed and this left with a little fringe at the hairline. Other stylists wouldn't do it for her, and the one that she had for years that would do it retired or went to out of state or something, and she was looking for a stylist and then found me through a recommendation from my Karen that never complained to me, even though I am the manager. But she recommended some people, and you know, what does it hurt to not, I can't let you leave looking like that. Oh, so you're gonna not cut her hair the way she asked? What good does that do anybody? Right. Now, I have made her hair into a T or a cross, and this is called blessing the partings. We start by doing the hairline and these middle areas, these partings. That's what you're taught in school. Not always called blessing the partings in the textbook, but that's what Miss Jerry called it. We blessing the partings. Okay. Miss Jerry looked like Magic School Bus lady and had a very similar name too. So, and dressed up like her for Halloween. And she would super sparkly. She was a good teacher. Maybe we were all good, but she was a happy teacher. And I am very thankful that I had good teachers at Regency. They had my back. That's first and foremost. When I was my first day on the floor, when I had somebody being a little difficult with me, they politely put that client in their place without saying a word. Turned the lady away from the chair and handed me back the tool and said, "Robert, we make the rainbows," and had me finish. But afterward, they had me in the office making sure, like, "You okay? You rattled or anything?" And I'm like, "Look, you guys had my back." This is the second time I went to school. The first time I stopped going because of some things that were happening and ended up getting dropped. But this time around, it's like I was determined already, but I got out on that floor and this lady's, "He's too slow, he's this, he's that, he's," without saying it, "he's a white boy."
Mm-hmm.
And, but I'm like, look, if the person in my chair doesn't want me to do their hair, or I'm going too slow, they can get up and leave, whatever, I don't care, but I'm clocking in every day, and I'm going to be here till 4:30, and I'm not giving up because you guys had my back. And I didn't miss a day until I was already past halfway and couldn't get a better streak. And I missed myself 3 days. I missed a few other days because they closed the school for weather and a plumbing problem. But I started that school on July 22nd of 2013. And the last day I was in there was June 12th of the following year. 1,500 Michigan hours. If you go full time, that's about the soonest you're going to get done, is 11 months. In Michigan, you might be going for 40 hours a week, but they only count up to 35. So there's like break and lunch and whatever that they don't count. Something like that. I'm going to say this right now, y'all. I have wipes. If I get color on her face or her ears, I will take care of it. Right? Because we want to get them gray hairs, if there are any. I don't know if I see any, but if there are any, we definitely want to get the root hair. I'm going to remember it.
Mm-hmm. When I leave, you'll be texting me.
I'll be like, "Okay, we're back live. This is what that word was. All right, bye-bye now." 47. 47 visits. 47. You know, just think how many it would be if we had a couple more years in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd say we'd be at least probably about, whether you were doing the roots constantly or, there's got to be at least like 4 to 8 more visits in there.
Sure.
There'd be a couple more if it weren't for COVID. You were one of the 2 people that asked me during COVID what to use, and when I found my book, I told you. Like at first, I was like, "Look." Now, in your case, oddly enough, we've used all 3, so one way or another. But at the time, I wasn't sure whether I had been using the 6.3 or the neutral, and I was like, okay, if you're gonna get something, make sure don't get the one that says ash.
Get the one that says N.
Yeah, either N or something with with either the gold one or possibly the red one, but don't get the ash because I've never used the ash on you, or at least it wasn't one of my go-tos. And then the other one was the one I was talking about earlier that was itchy all the time, and I gave her the glove. She asked me, I'm like, oh, well, just use this. In her case, I used to use a chocolate brown and sometimes mixed in a little bit of red or red streaks with it. And then as her natural highlights grew out more constantly, she just decided to stay light, and I just put level 9 with violet to it over her hair, and didn't have to do any bleaching. She just... Now, in my career, I've, because I started in 2015, even when I've been careful like this to not get it on their skin, you have to deal with the fact that when they want to look at their cell phone, they'll tip their head forward. So if you've got hair color on strands of hair or whatever, next thing you know, you got the spaghetti streak. So even as a pro, if you're somebody that never gets the color on their skin, you still should have some wipes or know what to do or get a paper towel with sanitizer or something. In school, we used to have the liquid stuff. I almost bought some today, but I have the wipes. So, but when we would run out of the bottle of the liquid, we had plenty of hand sanitizer. Because you don't touch hair in school without some sanitizer involved. You just don't. He's not going fast enough. Sorry. Is one of my teachers watching? They could be, because I did post to Facebook, and I know at least one would. Of course, they're probably teaching class or whatever, so they're probably not watching me. I'm just doing her roots because I'm not sure what hair is going to go in a foil or not. But as long as I get these roots done, we should be fine. because when I do the bleach, I'll be like kind of feathering up near the root anyway. Or making my little V's, or V's and W's that I used to do. My technique. Shh, giving away your secrets. They'll know your secret and they'll be practicing on each other and doing live streams of doing each other's hair without a license.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't put the disclaimer up. Don't try this at home. Folks, I do have a license. If you don't want to do hair, go to school. You'll love it. The only problem is you have to work on the public. You know, that's the part that's... Once you're working on somebody who you're not related to or a friend of, that's when it becomes real. That's when you know... And hopefully you got the teachers that I had that, you know, it's not like working at corporate grocery stores and stuff where, how come you said that to the customer? I know that's the truth, but why did you say it to the customer? We want to satisfy that customer. Uh-oh.
Just that one spot.
It's probably the spot where that hair's at.
Maybe.
It's getting revenge on you. Ah. Rip us out. You irritated it.
I didn't even rip it out. I cut it out.
Oh, okay. Cut it out.
I just went, shh. And I did in a couple spots, so that's just the one you see. I can't do this. Well, there's more to that story that I'll tell you later.
Oh.
It was precipitated by something else.
Sorry. Oh, that's not the thing. They're probably like, he can't see that? Do something about it.
It's hard to believe COVID was like 6 years ago.
Yeah. And this was around the time when you got back in the chair. You were one of the first that I had back in the chair, but it says July.
Yeah, I mean, Sue still had her shop open.
Yeah. Now we don't, well, I think the Thai guy's still there, but now it's the brow place on where Sue was, and then there's a different salon now where mine was. thankfully, I'm glad somebody actually they gutted the thing and turned it into a nice looking place from what I saw in the pictures.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Whoever it is, but if it weren't for the fact that I told him I wasn't doing hair anymore, I'd have tried going in there and been, hey, you know what? You got a chair for rent?
Yeah,
but I don't want to bump into him.
Oh,
the
owner?
The landlord.
He rents out chairs now?
No, but if he were to ever stop in there and see me in there, I'd be like, I thought you said you were done.
Yeah, but that's been a long time ago.
Well, I won't go into the specifics, but the last time we talked, there was he wanted me to do something that thankfully I talked to the person that he was talking about and found out, no, me, after the Tammy situation, I definitely can't do that. I think I probably told you about the apprentice thing. But yeah. No, she can't own a salon. She doesn't have a license. She can't own it. Now, if they go behind my back and do something without me knowing about it, that's one thing. But I will say, look, I told her this, that, and the other, but I have nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
My name's not on any paperwork that I have an apprentice. So, but she was like posting on Facebook, I'm going to have my own salon next week and this and that. Like, you won't be having my salon. If Fawn wants to take it over or something, that's one thing, but I ain't going to be under my name. I'm working at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
In order to take on an apprentice, I'd have to be there 40 hours a week teaching you. And I don't have that, so. And I said that I was done that day. That's one of the reasons why I really didn't advertise when I came here last time.
Are you still on the feed? The live stream?
Oh, yeah, it's still there. Did you want to talk about something?
No.
Or just the fact that I'm talking about it?
Yeah, there you go.
That's why I'm trying not to. But he's got somebody else renting now. It's somebody else's salon now. I needed the money, so I'm doing both jobs.
Yeah.
I can't afford a salon, and this doesn't cost me as much as a salon, so.
For sure.
So we can start with that. And who knows what that person's paying him. I don't know. It's not my business. It's not my business, and it's not my business.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nacho and a nunya. See, she laughed. I don't know all the gossip, but I might make you laugh. And if we weren't live right now, I might be singing the music, but we're live, so. You're not going fast enough. Sure, the color's going to do this and that, and you're not going fast enough. I know, okay, all right.
No, I'm just looking to see if he found out any more about his car.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had it for a month. But it's just not good.
Yeah, that's. I am crossing my fingers that I don't have any car issues, because that's why I didn't see you until the 24th last time. because I got in here and then I was like setting up and then, oh, guess what? Your car wants $600. Okay.
Did you get another car?
No, I still have the Patriot.
You had a Patriot? I didn't know that. Is that after you got into the one accident?
Yeah, I smashed my soul and got a Patriot. And oddly enough, the place, the right way that I got it from is now something else. So I can't go back there again. At least not to that one. Is that you doing that?
No.
Somebody else is messaging me? Pardon me. Real quick. I mean, I don't know what, who, what, when, where. Yeah. Yeah. Do you see what that says? That's the one I was talking about earlier. Like, what am I supposed to do? You want me to quote?
You gave her a quote?
You know, like, I was trying not to give a quote. Now I've given a quote.
Now she said what?
Has to hold off. Like, I don't want that, but
I think if you set it low enough,
yeah.
I think if they want a quote, right?
Yeah. And I gave a bare minimum that I could do.
Well, she'll find other people aren't that cheap.
Well, no.
I mean, not that you're cheap, but I'm just saying.
I'm affordable.
Reasonable. There you go.
I'm affordable.
You're affordable.
I am trying my best to be affordable, but I do.
You gotta pay your rent.
Affordable only comes if I can get 4 people a week.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have that minimum 4 people a week. Right now, I've got a little bit of a backup thing to keep. I wouldn't have tried this if I didn't have something to
go on,
keep me for a few months here. But okay, let's get this back closer to live because I thought. And to the person who messaged me, I apologize if you are watching. I'm not meaning to. You know I love you. You know, you're all my sisters. That's why I try to do, you know, it is a family discount. You know, I mean, you're all part of the family, and, you know, I was trying to not say a price. I'm like, look, you've been in my chair. You know the drill. You know, you have to specifically harp on me to tell you how much, right? You know, like when at the end of the thing, I'm like, okay, are you using a card or cash and I turn the phone around and say, okay, punch in how much you're giving me. Like,
no.
So, or people hand me a lot of money, it goes in my pocket, and then sometime later in the day, I'll write down what they gave me. Okay, that's part of the total for the month or whatever. You know, okay. You know, I'm not a Bible thumper or anything, but I still know what it means to feel blessed. I mean, the coincidence of me signing that lease on the same day, 2 years apart type thing, you know, yeah. I know what blessed means. You know, you don't have to crack open a Bible or anything to feel that way, you know. Which, you know, I've never done. I feel like if I were to read the Bible, I'd have to read all of them to give equal time. You know, I choose to have the open mind. You know, what if they're all the same?
They are.
You know, we all God talked to these people, God talked to these people, God talked to those people. The books have just been translated and written down, you know, before they even had a printing press. You know, you're in the movie theater. Hey, did you hear the one about Moses? He wrote down this stuff when he was talking to God, and then hey, did you hear the thing about Moses? Did you hear that Moses stubs his toeses? Like, and then it got translated into another language, and then it got printed by Gutenberg. You know, Steve Gutenberg from Police Academy, he made the printing press. And then they started making newspapers and stuff and books and, you know. So, but the thing is, my ex, when I met the rest of her family, I took her to the uncle's funeral because her car wasn't running, and the preacher there wasn't one of these long-winded, big long. It was the night before the burial, so it was just one of the at the funeral home, whatever they call that, and. He's like, I don't give long speeches, and I keep it simple, and he's like, Jesus only had 2 commandments. And if you really think about it, if you follow his 2 commandments, you really don't need the rest. And he said, love me, love each other. If you love each other, where's the murder? Where's the cheating? Where's this, stealing?
Right.
Do unto others. It's really that simple, folks. I treat life like, yeah, it's a test. I don't know about St. Peter or whatever, but when I get to wherever, I want to be judged on, was I kind to other people? Did I do what I could to be kind to other people and try to take care of people the best I could? And if anything I've done means that the amount of kindness and things that I've done doesn't count because of one bad thing, and I have to go somewhere else, or because I didn't read the book or go to the church, or then punish me. Because obviously what I've done positive wasn't good enough, and that's too high of a standard. Because if I'm trying and I don't make it in, then there's so many people out there that definitely ain't making it in, unless it's like the rich people standard. They get in, you don't. They gave more at church because they were trying to impress their friends, so they got in. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough on that subject. It's not about religion. It's about being nice to each other. And as I mentioned in my stream the other day, the reason I try to be so affordable as best I can. No, I'm not rich. I'm not making money. I can't afford my own place. And I appreciate the hell out of my family who's doing what they're doing for me and shouldn't have to do. But I was born with cleft lip and cleft palate, which if anybody has watched the Operation Smile commercial, you know that the split lip and the roof of the mouth does not come all the way together. I was born with both of those. Just one side. Some get the double. My parents didn't have money. They were like, how the hell are we going to pay for this? We can't. And I was born with double hernia on top of it. So my mom had to use an eyedropper to feed me to get my weight up to do the hernia surgery. Not to be gross about it, but if she didn't use a long eyedropper to feed me, it didn't go down the right pipe and came back out. Hey, by the way, are you wanting any drinks or anything? Water?
No, I'm good.
Okay. This, I know you mentioned coffee, but
Yeah, I got up and just. Thank you.
because we have a coffee bar. It's, there's a little bit of stuff out there. You have Keurig cups and teas, and I don't know if anybody's stocked up with water, but I can always go get bottled water to put in the thing. I know we've got plenty of that back there.
So that's how your mom used to feed you?
To get so I could have the double hernia surgery, and then she just got lucky, and there was this doctor, a plastic surgeon, who said to her something to the effect of, "Look, I make my money off the old ladies wanting nose jobs. I will take care of him for free."
That's awesome.
And he did. And so here it is, all these years later. I have not done anything cosmetically to it. When I was 18, all the other surgeries, internals and whatever that they were going to do, that moved my jaw forward, blah, 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 had been done. But I didn't want anything done to the face. I'm like, look, I know I've had a hard time looking in the mirror at myself, but I don't want to see something different. When I look, I want to see what I've been seeing for 18 years. So I grew a mustache when it finally started growing in, and I hid behind that until 2013 when I went to beauty school and shaved it for the first time. And I used a razor blade on my face for the first time, and that was so I could let the other students practice their facials and makeup on me, because it's only fair that they get to do my whole face and not fight to get between my beard, and I wanted it to. I wanted it. I let him do these little points on my eyebrows. Yeah, go ahead and wax those. I don't like those. I don't want to look like the devil.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I have had my face waxed a little bit. I know it hurts. It does. It does hurt, folks. Okay, so we got the root color in, or at least the roots. So now I can go in there and maybe what I'll do is for the foils, I'll do like every other foil with the color in there. So you have a little bit of a
Okay.
Some of yours, some of the colors. Some of yours, some of it's like so it'll be like your color. Okay, we're getting a little bit of buffering in case anybody. That's YouTube for you. Okay, nobody's watching right now. Then again, it could be the buffering that's doing that. Testing. Okay. Okay, hey, whether you're watching now or not, it'll be there.
No, your dad was worked on trains.
Yes, he originally he did some automotive stuff and he's mechanic or whatever, but he got it. He went to work for Conrail right around the time that they had the big merger of all the all the railroads around Pennsylvania and the Consolidated Rail Corporation. So it's like the Pennsylvania Railroad and all them merged in. And he was there and for a while there in the late 80s to early 90s, he didn't know what was going to happen because Norfolk Southern and CSX were splitting up Conrail. He didn't know he might have to move to Atlanta or Charlotte or... in the end, him and my uncle both got to stay here in Metro Detroit and work for Norfolk Southern. They were in the offices, like through dispatch and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Let's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to slice out those foils. So, to those who are watching, because I've already shown you the video, or at least the link. I don't know if you actually watched it or not. There's this video where somebody's like showing a class, that she doesn't weave her foil, she just does a horizontal lines, and I want to try that today. Now, I'm somebody that doesn't always take thin sections, so this will be interesting for me, because that's what is required, is taking the thinner sections. Honk, honk. The trucker horn. It's time to mix this. Really? Yeah. Yeah, but it's been sitting there for a while. It'll be fine. That's why we didn't mix it. It would have been sitting there that long anyway had I been doing the other thing, so, Trust the process. Glub, glub, just relaxing in the tub. Okay, then we'll give that another shot of this, just to make it a little more liquidy. All right, everybody, pray. He's about to start foiling. Look at that. It's all of us, all at once. We're all knocking. Let us in right now. How do I know it's you? Because we said so. Oh, that's good. That's right. And Bobby McGee. My last name is not McGee. And I don't go by Bobby. The only other people that call me Bobby are pretty much other Roberts.
You're just Robert.
Yep.
You're not.
Yeah.
Rob
or Robert is what I go by. Just not Robbie or Bobby or Bob. Yeah. Just not the B names. Except Bubba. Bubba, yeah, I am Bubba.
Who used to call you Bubba?
Well, that's the story, because when I worked at the gear place, I also worked with my older brother. And we had a foreman there who would call me Bubba. And I assumed it was my older brother that somehow called me that in front of him or something. Well, a couple months later, after the foreman had moved to, he was working at American Axle instead. And he came to see us when me and my brother were on the midnights over at the bowling alley for lunch. And he's like, you know why I call you Bubba, don't you? I'm like, probably because of him. I'm like, no. When I called, and his name was George the foreman. George the foreman. When I called to tell you you were hired, your mom called down the hallway, hey, Bubba. So I was using the family nickname at my job then. And
well, that's what I wondered.
Yeah.
If they called you Bubba.
Yeah. And there was like 4 other Roberts there at the time anyway, so good. Now they know which one. They don't even know I'm Robert anymore. Like, you know, the only time anybody would ever call me Robert was when, like, the secretary lady would call me to the office on the PA. Like, who's that? Oh, it's me. Oh, okay.
You worked at, not at American Axle, or did you?
I was at a gear place in Roseville at the time.
Oh.
Just a little small, like, tool and die place.
American Axle was owned by Chrysler at one time. I think they still have some kind of thing. Back in 2009, we ended up with a bunch of, because, you know, they got like, oh, a lot of things happened back then.
The first official daisy foil. I have never used a daisy foil before that one. True story, y'all. True. This much is true. I remember that. I remember when that was a new song. And then they had the other one, You Are Gold. They don't play that one very much. But everybody knows This Much Is True. By Spandau Ballet. They may not know Spandau Ballet, but they've heard the song. Or they've seen a movie that had it in it, like I think Napoleon Dynamite probably had it, or you know. Oh no, he's gonna have slippage and blah 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 and this and that. He's not doing it right. No, I'm doing it left. This is the left side. Oh, that's right. You got the that thing going on down there. That's why we didn't do that little piece.
Sorry.
You are just going to be different. You're just different. That's her hairstyle, not yours. Now, if you want her hairstyle, I could purposely cut that chunk. Anybody want that? You know, just get some nail clippers out and be like, trim your nails.
You're right.
It's made out of the same stuff.
It'll grow fast enough.
Oh. If you're ever going to cut a chunk, that's where you cut it, unless you're wearing, like, buns all the time and it's hanging down, but, you know. That's why if somebody's wanting a certain haircut or whatever, and you're not sure they want it, like maybe they just got over a breakup or something, and it's like, are you sure you want me to cut this hair? And then you cut this section here, and then they like, oh no, I don't want that. Okay, well you covered it, or if you accidentally cut it too short, you can drop a section over it. You still have options. That. And that'll be what we do. One of the quotes I had way back when I was going to school was, pretty ain't perfect.
Kind of funny you worked at the gear place.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Oh, okay. So, do you remember Sky Nails that was in Waterford next to the Kroger that's on Dixie? That guy used to do transmissions.
Okay, that's the one up by Maybe Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there's Kroger and there's Neiman's.
Yes. Yes, it was in that plaza that Kroger was in. So they used to do my nails, but the guy that did the nails, his wife is the one that originally owned, and they owned it together, but she did the nails and he did transmissions. And then he made more money doing nails, so he stopped doing transmissions. It was like, forget doing transmissions when I can do nails.
Yeah, you know, if you're getting that greased up doing nails, something's not happening right. You know? So the only thing that's kept me from one of the things that kept me from doing nails is I don't have I would not be able to do the intricate designs. I love doing manicures, washing hands, doing massages and all that. But if they're wanting the acrylics and the intricate, I can't do all that. I could give you a Q-tip snowman, but you know.
Well, some nail techs don't do that. They just do a one color or whatever.
Yeah. But
I cut my own nails. They were like long.
Girlfriend, you got some spot on. It's a cure. You got yourself a cure.
I was like,
I don't know where I was going with that, but you know.
Look,
I was ad-libbing.
They were really long, and I was like, I would, one of them would be like about to break off, so I just cut them off.
You know, people gonna be like after this, like, what? Hey, what shade are your nails? Oh, 6M.
Mm-hmm.
What brand is it? Rusk. What store has that? Cosmoprof.
Yeah.
It's a professional store. It's a professional brand. You got to have a license to get that one. I'm a professional manicurist.
But Sally, you don't.
No. Sally carries some Rusk things. They might even carry the Deep Shine these days. Because Sally and Cosmoprof are under the same umbrella. So my credit card for Cosmoprof also is for Sally, whereas somebody could get just a Sally credit card if they're the general public. But because I have the Cosmoprof credit card, I can use it at both stores. But they don't have necessarily the same stuff. Like Sally carries like the Wella Color Charm, whereas Cosmoprof has the Culliston brand.
I know, I wish they still made their shampoo and their conditioner the same.
It's so good. Still. See, that's what I'm talking about. 9 out of 10 would tell me. And after a while, I was like, okay, that 10th person just not telling me. They're probably thinking if I tell him it smells good, he's going to try to sell it to me. You know? But it's still that lime caviar. Why would you take something that everybody was okay with and pick lime caviar? You know, if it was just the lime, that might be okay. But it's like, because I have a little bottle of it. Okay, lime dish soap, kind of like lemon pledge. And then the caviar kicks in. It's like, oh, okay, that's second day dish soap. You know, because I smell dish soap the second day after soaking.
Yeah, I don't know why they ever changed it. It smelled the best.
Yeah, and raised the price. Like that's why I use the Matrix now. At least it's I bought the Matrix. I can't believe
people weren't complaining about it.
You know. And you'd think the sales, well, maybe the people that could be a case of where somebody is still using like a generic bottle behind the back bar and then selling the stuff on the retail and not even telling the client that it's something different, or who knows? Who knows why? But it's been how many years?
A while.
How many years now? Like, come on now. And I was so proud of Wella for as long as, because I used it at school, and then all them years, and I actually was showing a picture yesterday where I had a stock of the little bottles on the shelf when they finally were cheap enough for me to get some. Of course, that was probably after I went back to the grocery store, so that helped. But I don't want to jinx it, but thank you to those who are watching so far for not causing any problems.
Damn word.
Email. Not important. You are more important than my email. Don't you feel blessed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they told my son $6,000. I'm like, you
really? For just a quote, eh? Not doing any work?
And I called him, and I told him, see how much they want for remanufactured, but you call the place in Fraser yourself, because they'll tell you, oh, it's $6,000 for the motor and $2,000 for us to put in. I was like, You either gotta cut your losses or do something. Am I wrong? I was like, if that's gonna cost you this, first of all, I would have just bought a different car. But he don't want to listen, so he's my child.
You know, I was like, if the chat was going to be rowdy, I was going to be like, look, the minute y'all make me sound like my mother, the chat goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember, you know, being at the salon and like when it's just me and the parent and more than one kid, and it's like, you in that corner. Great, now I sound like my mother. Like if I have to be the parent, I'm gonna be the parent here.
Mm-hmm. So how is your niece doing? She graduated, right?
She is now 20 years old.
Wow.
She's in college. Not to say which one, but she is in a college.
That's cool.
And going for something cool. Something that would pay a lot if she gets a job in that.
That's really cool.
So. There's a thing that they've got with like a clip like this, but it's got like big teeth on it, and you just like
fold it over.
You just put the thing into the teeth of the clip, and pull, you know, like
you don't have to undo the clip to put it up.
We'll get some of those because you know I like to work smarter, not harder.
Me too. So have you talked to Talitha at all?
Not since around the time that he talked to me. So that's been a couple of years. You know, I told her what was going on with that thing that he was trying to do. And so that's crazy. You know, yeah, so I don't know if anything's going on with her or not, you know, as far as because she didn't necessarily post private things in public. You know, she might post other things, but not necessarily updates or.
Wasn't her husband guys?
Yeah, so her husband was sick, so I don't know anything about that. If anything has happened or not.
I hope she's doing alright.
Hopefully she's enjoying retirement. You know, my mama from another mother.
Mm-hmm. How's your doggies, the golden? You have one?
They the golden retriever and the Saint Bernard. They are well, the golden does not bite my arm anymore. Ever since he went to get his adjustment, he stopped ripping my sleeve, and instead he'll go and get a pillow or a shoe or whatever to bring to me. And one of his favorite things to do is, you know, he'll want to go between my legs. Like it reminds me of the old sponge roller car wash from Hot Wheels. Like he's going through a car wash.
Mm-hmm. Our baby. See her? She's on my bed.
Oh, yeah.
The first day I was gone, that's where she was.
Good choice.
Mom's bed. She sleeps under my bed usually. We have such a big room. When we moved there, we have queen size down there, and let's say my nephew put the things in there. Maybe my nephew and then my nephew-in-law, whatever, my niece's husband. They put them all in one bedroom, so they fit. So me and Chris, I'm like, this is my bed. We're gonna pretend we're at a hotel.
Yeah. There, have some hair in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's your hair. It's not my fault. It's your hair. She did it to herself. She grew the hair. Why is it my fault? You grew it.
Long hair.
I wanted you to cut it, Robert, but you weren't around, and you didn't want to do hair, and you said you were retired. You know, I mean, I wish I could retire, get a pension or something from it. You know, that's not how it works. There's no hair pension. Not yet. I'll lobby my congressman. I'll be like, I'll show up here. Hi, I'm not Elle Woods, but I got the leopard print on, and you're going to pass a bill that says all hairdressers get a pension right now. You do it. He's going to do it. No. Y'all get your hair done? You're not all bald. Your hairdresser gets a pension. Come on now. Oh, that's right. We were going to leave that one alone. Are you? I don't know. Maybe I'll leave one. One Valdez. That's one.
She was what?
She was going like this and picking up a section. I'm kind of going backwards here. So there. I'm doing it my way. I'm sorry, teacher lady.
Is that what she is, a teacher?
I don't know, just, influencer or whatever.
Something.
If she goes around, if she's going around doing classes, then she's some sort of educator thing. She getting paid. She getting paid. Okay, y'all, you're going to hear some loud noise for a minute.
Think one?
Yeah, well, I took one of the shirts off, but I kept the other one on. I'm used to wearing a lot of clothes in the meat department.
Do you have to cut the steaks and stuff?
I have not done that myself. I would cut the boneless ones occasionally for the service counter, but we don't have that anymore at my location. But the ones that have a bone in, either the seafood guy or the current department that do that. I do not want to touch that saw. Otherwise, I'd have been in a department head a long time ago.
Yeah.
I refuse to touch that thing. Especially given the fact that I'm still doing this and I need my hands.
Yeah.
I don't, I say I'm done with this and then I'm doing it again. So no, we're not gonna jeopardize my hands.
I know you were pretty adamant. So I tried to get you doing my hair for my wedding.
Yeah. Problem is, there's certain things I'm just not set up for, and
well, I mean, and
confidence is the other part. Because it just where I was, we weren't getting that, and
yeah,
I've done like a couple of sets of curls on somebody, and it's one of those things you kick yourself for afterward. Like, damn it, I should have found a way, but
yeah.
I can't even kick myself. Damn it. Here, kick me. You're the one that should kick me. I wanted you. You were my hairdresser. You let me down.
It was my daughter and my sister-in-law did it.
Oh, so there's still
They all were. In fact, I think my other sister-in-law too. They were kind of all taking turns. They were.
So it's kind of like an Edward Scissorhand project or something. Okay, now you get this piece. Now you get that piece.
Yeah. I don't know. I asked one other person.
For your hair, well, that'll be $500.
Yeah.
$500 for the consultation, then we'll do the hair for free. So yes, I apologize if y'all can't hear very well, but if that thing's annoying, but we're warm, she's wearing capes, it happens. And that's just the air sucker up where it's not necessarily an air conditioner. But hey, it'll suck the heat up there. I didn't need that anyway. Act like you've been there before, right? Oh no, a clip dropped on the floor. It's the end of the world. I know I never was that way again. Do, 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 do. I know I'll never go this way again. So keep holding on. For the good is gone. I know I'll never go this way again. Hold on.
It's a country song, but
Actually, that is, well, there might be a country one, but that's Gladys Knight. Or, Dionne Warwick.
oh, that's nice.
Yep. That's the version I'm doing. There could be a country version. That's like, the only time I watched The Masked Singer was right before COVID started shutting everything down. It was March of 20, and I was at my ex's sister's house after going to Macomb Mall and getting taxes done. Luckily, she went and got her taxes done right before, because she went to the mall, to the H&R Block to get them done. You know, so I got her there to get her taxes done. Because then everything started shutting down, and that wouldn't have been happening. We were at her sister's, and they had a Masked Singer on there, and it's like, come on, y'all don't know that's Dionne Warwick under that damn mask? Come on now. Nobody else sounds like her. Come on, you know, like,
Yeah.
they all acted surprised when it was her. Like, you shouldn't. If you can't guess Dionne Warwick's voice, you ain't been listening to enough music to be on that show. To be like trying to guess.
I wonder if they got fans in them costumes they use.
I hope so.
They're hot.
Yeah.
I mean, they look.
Whatever they're using at Disney World, or you know. So I'm sure down there in Florida and California that gets kind of hot.
Well, they're only out for like 10 minutes at a time or something.
Yeah. They better do something. Tag team Bluto. Or,
Well, they do.
Pluto.
So they only have them in certain parks at certain times.
Yeah.
So my daughter's aunt works at the Disney one in Florida, and she said they can't ever have a Mickey out at the same time like any other characters.
Yeah.
If it's in this theme park, it's only in that theme park. None of the other parks have it. And then when that character goes in, it could be in one of the other theme parks, but
no, not two Mickeys at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
And it can all over the
Because
whole
they
world.
have to believe that that's the Mickey
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Only one Ronald McDonald.
So when I was little, I went to Disney World, and I must have left my purse, or somebody stole it, right? But I couldn't find it. We went to the thing. They have a lost and found. And I said, oh, there was about $20 in it, which I don't even remember how much was there, but about that, all right. Maybe a little less. I don't know. But they sent me a check for $20 because they said they didn't want to get lost in the mail, right? So
Yeah.
they sent a check. And Mary said that, well, they don't want any kid to have a bad time. And since somebody stole your stuff, they want to make sure they got it returned to you. So I sent my purse back and a check. I thought, well, that's kind of weird because it wasn't quite 20, you know. So.
Yeah, we definitely we're an hour into the other lady's appointment time.
Yeah.
She. Yeah.
But we would have been an hour earlier.
Well, yeah, because we were going to start at like 8:30 or something.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure.
I know better. You know, it's the first appointment. I'm reaching for stuff. Even without all this, I know better. You know, like, where's my comb? Where's you know? It just wasn't a good idea to do full appointments to them. Not because what she usually gets done, and she's got like twice as much hair as you, and it would have taken me forever. And I got to get used to being on my feet that long, and not, at least I got my mat, but I'm still working on my days off now. So,
is there anybody watching the live?
It's hard to say because I have to like refresh it.
Oh.
Why? Are you wondering if I should turn it off or?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
It might help you. Just a thought.
I did this one backwards. I mean, not
that's what I was
backwards,
wondering.
but the foil.
Yeah, I know.
Inside out.
It's like you're just.
I painted it. Well, hey, it's one way to do it and know which one's which. How about this? If y'all are watching right now, say something. There's one person watching, but they're gonna have to say something, otherwise I'm gonna end it. Could be Freebird watching. I don't know. Yeah, we don't need to see the whole appointment. We've pretty much gotten everything we need out of this. Other than the after. We should have to remember to get the after, right?
Right.
Picture, because I can
Something,
always during the next live stream. Just show the picture. Hey, y'all, I have to do what she says. She's one of my assistants from the salon. We're kind of like co-owner type things, So. But you all get the gist of what it's like to having an appointment with me now. So, anybody that wants to come see me, you should know. If you expecting chandeliers and champagne and all that, sorry, I don't quite have that. You're not paying for that. Those places didn't hire me. I didn't put an application in all of them either, because I don't have a resume. Y'all are my resume. My resume is them books. Well, nobody's saying anything, so... Well, we didn't follow you to the bathroom. Oh, we're not. It's not that kind of show. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good night and a good day. Hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, wishing you no tangles, keep shining, and bye-bye for now.